Well, Jenna, first I got to apologize. I can't remember the exact date that Dez got cut, but right after we had some report and said, oh, man, I got 6 teams, I think someone reported. I'm not going to say his name. Works NFL Network.
I think it was Rap Sheet.
Yeah, I don't know who
I'm
it
not
is.
sure.
But
probably.
It was like, and I was like, I don't know if there's 6 teams out there, like, because I hear some of the information. So I didn't think there were going to be 6 teams. I knew Dez's asking price was not, he was going to be trying to take some type of discount. But time went a little bit, a couple of weeks, and Jenna was like, hey, that's Dez Bryant. Like, I was like, oh, don't worry about it, Jenna. Like, and I'm supposed to be all things, the football almanac for you and everything. Then you came to me a little bit later and was like, Dez not signed. This don't really seem right, Chris. And I was like, no, he's just, right now, Baltimore wanted him, and he turned down their contract. Jenna, we're past the 4th of July. It's time to be concerned because almost all of the good players are playing on a team, even a 1-year deal. So now that we're talking about Dez Bryant and he's unattached to a team, that has a great deal of concern. Now, there's also concern for Josh Gordon because for another general manager to mention wide receivers that we're looking at options, because if Josh had something that they didn't think could be suspendable, they wouldn't be looking. They would be looking at other ways to get him help compared to looking at ways to replace him.
Or they would be looking at players who are not vested veterans that if they're on the opening day roster, their contract's not guaranteed.
And they have more flexibility.
Like if they thought, listen, it's going to be a few weeks. They're looking for a permanent replacement or at least a replacement for the year when you start looking at the players like Dez Bryant. Which is concerning for Josh. Like, period, whether it's because they're worried on him being suspended or whether it's simply even if he's not going to be suspended, if they're worried if he's going to be healthy enough to be able to play football anytime soon, it is concerning to be looking at a veteran such as this one. But to the point on the front end, the only quality players that aren't on NFL rosters right now are either being blackballed by the league or they're named Dez Bryant. Like, or they've retired. You know what I mean?
Why, Nick? Why do you think it is he hasn't been signed by a team?
I think whatever intel was out there about Dez was worse than I could have imagined. Listen, we knew Dez was an edge guy. We knew that when he got to Dallas, the Cowboys hired someone to essentially be his chaperone. We knew there had been long-standing rumors about a horrible video from years back in a parking lot. But it also seemed like, okay, a lot of that stuff seems to have gone away. And as long as you can deal with the histrionics on the sidelines, that's really all that comes along with Dez Bryant. We didn't hear about a lot of the family drama. We didn't hear about any arrest. But whatever the intel is about either what he is in the facility or how much management he needs once you leave your facility, you've got 30-some-odd teams that have said, nah, we good. And I was looking at this yesterday, some of the teams that we have high hopes for that just don't have talent at the receiver position. The one that you initially pegged Dez to, San Francisco. How about them?
Right.
Even if we don't have high hopes for the New York Jets, a team that is going to be having a rookie quarterback.
The one he left. They have no wide receivers.
The one we just talked about.
Thank you. Yes.
Indianapolis. And so now we're in a position where Cleveland, they might have an emergency at the position. But I then circle back to the reason he's unemployed, which is, man, I just put my whole future of my franchise in Baker Mayfield. Does Dez make Baker's job easier or harder? Does Dez make Baker's path to being a star quarterback in this league easier or harder? And that is one that the Browns are going to have to answer John Dorsey and company behind closed doors, because that's the question that matters for them.
Right. I have enough confidence in who Cleveland has there. Recently hired offensive coordinator Todd Haley. Now, Todd Haley has had some wide receivers that are special. Todd has no problem dealing with them. If you talk about what was his relationship with Ben Roethlisberger, man, he's going to coach you. I don't care how good you are, and sometimes Ben did not like that. So Dez Bryant being in Cleveland with Todd Haley as the offensive coordinator, Hugh Jackson, who was a wide receiver coach, that's how he cut his teeth in the NFL, and being an offensive coordinator. I believe that combination can cultivate to bring the best out of Dez for this year. Now, this might surprise you guys. I don't think Dez is better than Josh Gordon.
No.
I thought Josh Gordon was going to have the kind of year and surprise a lot of people because his ability to be able to run through coverage, his overall size and speed, opposite of Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry, man, he's 9.9 yards a catch.
Right.
They just gave him that
high
money.
volume.
So I don't know if Dez, being a possession receiver, and there's nothing, that's not a slap in the face. I'm a possession receiver. All right? That's what I never took that as people were trying to slight my ability. But having two possession receivers, it's not the best for an offense, but an offensive coordinator has got to be really, really creative when you don't have guys that can really force the defense to back off.
You mentioned Todd Haley. So I know Todd. I have a relationship with Todd back from when we were both in Kansas City together. And you're right. There are some great wide receivers that love Todd Haley. Larry Fitzgerald, give him a. I mean, maybe I'm overstating when I say love it, but Larry Fitzgerald has
Larry's very, very fond of how Todd coached
him and feels like he got the most out of him.
Yes.
But Larry also bought in. And it was hard for Larry to buy in initially, from what I understand. I know Dwayne Bowe did not like Todd Haley. I know it got so bad that Dwayne Bowe's agent had to call the GM about how Todd Haley was talking to him. And I say that to say this, man, when's the last time Dez Bryant was coached hard? We just heard that he wasn't taught the route tree. When's the last time a coach actually felt emboldened to actually get in Dez Bryant's grill? That's one that if he were to go to Cleveland, he better be ready for.
And one good example was Keyshawn Johnson when he played with the Jets. Todd Haley coached him, rode him really, really hard, and doing television and working with Key, man, we'd have a question. He called Todd. He had Todd on speed dial. Be able to call Todd, and they have a great rapport and a great respect. So you have seen there are some wide receivers. Dwayne Bowe didn't gravitate to that hard coaching. Todd comes from old school football. I'm a coach old school, and I believe that it's the best way to coach, and especially coaching us wide receivers, because we tends to have some issues.
Yeah, you do. We should mention this hasn't happened yet, but there are talks that Cleveland will go after Dez Bryant. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.